So I want to take a look at this little indicator board for my Amiga 1200. I'm tired of it being intermittent. The floppy LEDs don't light up. I wiggle them, they do. I think I can actually see the pin moving there on one end as I wiggle the LED. Whoever designed this board didn't do any of us a service. I looked at replacing where the wires come through with the pin header, only those holes aren't on 0.1 centers. I suspect somebody's redesigned this board at some point. I've got the top of the case here, and of course the board sits in like this, and I was looking to see how much room I had under here to try to do something. And trying to decide how to secure this cable so that the strain relief isn't the solder joints, but is actually, mechanically to the little PCB. Again, I'll get up here where hopefully there's some better light. I'm still tuning the light here. This might actually be better. See, I've added some additional lighting here that hopefully is helping. Still getting into shadow, so let me keep kind of adjusting light. So, like I say, on the one LED, when I rock the LED, I can see this pin right here, down here actually rocking, so I know there's a cold solder joint, at least in one place. So in looking at this and thinking about what to do, because there is this hole here, the problem is it's not large enough for all four wires to clip down through. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is add a wire tie here, taking advantage of that hole. The problem is I need this to go in such that I have enough room for the board to sit down flush. So really the wire tie probably around this way makes the most sense. And again, I don't know if this is going to help or not. That's not actually where I wanted that to end up. But that has pinched all four wires in there pretty solidly. Now the question is, will this still fit back into the case with that large wire tie sticking down like that? There's only one way to really find out, and I suspect it'll be just fine. And yeah, the wire tie clears with plenty of room, so that at least pinches those wires such that they're not moving in the solder joints. So now really it becomes, I think, reflowing all of the solder joints. Let's see if I can get the board here someplace where it's being held somewhat rigidly. And this is just an irritant, having the LEDs cut out, come back, and cut out, and come back. And I see some really bad looking solder joints there. Try and clear some of this just flux and mess out of here. That solder joint there is very cold. You can actually see exposed wires. That may be the one that broke off in a previous video, although I don't think so. Got a little brush here. I wouldn't mind hitting that with some alcohol just to see if it would clean up a bit better. Oh, I don't have any Q-tips laying here. actually remove most of that flux. Apologies for the noise outside. Apparently they're using leaf blowers. Hopefully it's not too irritating. It's a little more visible there to me. Yeah, those solder joints are not very good. In fact, they're horrid. A smaller tip. The solder station. JBC, hot swap it in. We'll just see if we can clean this up a bit. Hopefully the extra light here is helping you see what I'm doing. Let me tilt the board down a little bit, maybe give you a bit better view. I'm just going to walk through each solder joint and reflow it. That one looks rather cold. Pretty lousy board design. From a mechanical standpoint. Those wires just flapping around in the breeze. Yeah, I can see that solder joint there is completely dead. Little bits of solder flaking off, falling down into the system. With this in use. Well, it's not beautiful. It's not horrid. Make sure I don't have any solder bridges. Which I don't. That's one joint there that I think was flaky. Yeah, the LEDs are even stiffer. I think just through handling, those joints have been cracked. So hopefully with some stress release there, this will be a little more operational. At least that's always the hope. Wow, the weed whackers outside are rather obnoxious. I think power's down towards the keyboard, so it does go in this way. It still sits in there just fine. The wire tie, the wire tie clears at the inside of the case, so that'll mount back in just fine. Well, I'll get this back in the system, and we'll find out how functional it is. Again, the strain relief looks really good. I don't see the wires on the other side of the wire tie there moving. So I thought we'd take a quick look at the LEDs after getting everything put back together. Well, the power LED actually came on. And there's the hard drive LED blinking away. And we have the desktop. Let me insert a floppy. And we should see the floppy LED blink, and there it is. And I've got the icon on the desktop. Wiggling these. They don't seem to be cutting in and out, although that was bloody quick, but it looks like resoldering the connections and getting some strain relief on the wires has brought this little board back to an operational stance. So with that, I'm happy.